2018 Aston Martin Rapide Review. The good points of Aston Martin Rapide: beautiful styling, characterful engine, an engaging driver's car, serious exclusivity. The bad points of Aston Martin Rapide: switchgear may be better, high running costs, rivals offer better rear seat space, lack of autonomous safety kit. Viewed in the front, the Aston Martin Rapide possesses similarly bewitching appearance as the other luxury marque's selection of sports coupes. It's only if seen in the side which the difference becomes obvious. We have an extra 2 of doors, which makes it a rival with luxury sports saloons such because the Bentley Flying Spur, Maserati Quattroporte and Porsche Panamera. The Aston Martin provides the best of those three: the drivability with the German, the style with the Italian, along with the exotic 12-cylinder power plant of the company's British rival. Only one engine choice. Unlike rivals, there exists only one number of engine, a 5.9-liter V12 which provides up 560 horsepower shipped to the rear wheels with an 8-speed Tucktronic 3 automatic gearbox. It's a fun-filled engine using a high-pitched, metallic howl when pushed, along with a smooth and linear power delivery that builds and builds with seemingly unending strength till the red line. This is often a properly outlandish powertrain, famous brands which are rarely found in a production car this side of the Ferrari or Lamborghini. One trim level, a lot of options. There's an abundance of standard kit mixed in with the Rapide's expect 20-inch alloys, leather interior and satinav on all cars. From there the sky's the limit, with huge amounts of personalization available, including a wide palette of paints, several different interior trims and swathes of carbon fiber being offered. The Aston Martin Rapide does lag behind its rivals slightly inside tech department, however, without having autonomous safety kit or brighter LED headlights to be had. Sublime ride and driving characteristics. The one region where the Rapide have their competitors tagged is within the handling stakes, the place that the Aston Martin shrugs off its size to adopt the agility of a much smaller car. Despite its rewarding drive, the four-seater also rides smoothly and is a comfortable companion over a long-distance journey. There's less space inside back as you become in a Porsche Panamera, but there's enough room back there for all those but the tallest of adults. The verdict. If you wish to be analytical about this, the rivals in this car will be more attractive in riding. They're either cheaper, faster, more spacious or technologically advanced, or all four within the case from the Porsche. The thing is, though, this Aston Martin feels as though a car you obtain with your heart, its massive engine offering a large amount more character than whatever else in this market. It's also strikingly beautiful to think about and a real pleasure to operate a vehicle, with the unusually rewarding power delivery and handling on UK roads for a motor vehicle so competent at high speed. Scroll on for your full Aston Martin Rapide review. Massive V12 motor defines the drive. Linear power delivery and soulful noise. 8-speed gearbox is quick and accurate. Choosing a train locomotive for your Aston Martin Rapide is a straightforward although a little bit restrictive process because there's one on offer, a 5.9-liter V12. Sonorous V12 engine. For a long time now this massive 12-cylinder motor has arrived to define the Aston Martin experience. Few manufacturers, Italian supercars aside, give a naturally aspirated, large E-displacement engine similar to this. Rivals such as the Porsche Panamera may give you a similar level of power on the 560 horsepower you get from the Rapide S, but none serve this in such a deliciously smooth, linear way. While the turbocharged Porsche hits you hard within the back, the Aston Martin just gathers alluring pace before the rev counter needle hits the red line. It's an infinitely more refined experience your passengers will like, but it makes it easier to regulate the car mid-corner. Big motor thrives on revs. Peak power will come in at a lofty 6,650 revolutions per minute, while 620 Nm of torque gets to 5,500 revolutions per minute. The unusually long travel throttle pedal makes it simply allows you to modulate, and feels wonderfully satisfying to flatten in the carpet, having a metallic howl that gets louder and louder because speed increases. Unusually for just a car which has a 203 mph top speed, the Rapide S feels very alive at lower velocities. Perhaps its best feature is when much fun you might have without risking your license. Its quick away from the line 2062 mph drops inside a mere 4.4 seconds because of the rapid-firing 8-speed Tucktronic 3 automatic gearbox, which swaps ratios inside the blink associated with an eye. This transmission matches you'll find from the Aston Martin Vanquish and works well together with the engine to ensure you're always inside the right gear. Both could be sharpened up by pressing the Sport Mode button, or further still if you take control on the column-mounted paddles. Hold the left one while decelerating, plus the car help keep you within the best gear when you need to get back about the gas. Shadow Edition offers more power. In addition, on the standard car you are able to pick the Shadow Edition, which comes with 573 horsepower. You also obtain a sports exhaust, which will turn the volume in the engine nearly 11. Well-judged handling offers comfort and sportiness. Hydraulic steering is weighty and stuffed with feedback. Huge quantity of mid-corner poise for any big car. Despite being pitched being a more relaxed Grand Tourer, the Rapide still wears an Aston Martin badge, and this means there's an expectation of sportiness it must fulfill. It does so remarkably well, virtually reducing your weight at its unmasked with agile handling which make it seem like a substantially smaller car. The Rapide will reward a committed cornering speed with neutral poise. In case you go in slower, leading wheels will protest first. Fantastic steering. There's a beautiful mechanical feel to your hydraulic steering, which provides plenty of feedback, weight and accuracy, allowing you to feel confident enough to push on only for a short time driving. The flip side of this is often a bit of kickback with the wheel, as well as a tendency to locate cambers once you're over a rough road, but this only travels to help build a picture on the asphalt below the wheels. Three-stage active dampers do the most beautiful to iron out lumps and bumps and for your most part work well. There's no getting away in the firm, taut feeling towards the chassis, so leaving the suspension to use normal mode, in lieu of sport or track, helps it flow better over undulating surfaces. Great feedback from brakes. The brakes offer a lot of bite, but they are progressive enough to modulate easily. Plus, in the event you delve to the various traction control modes, there's a setting with reduced ABS function for further experienced drivers. We did experience some grumbling when braking at low speeds, however. For by far the most part you'll wish to leave the traction control on. This is often a long and high car with lots of power going towards the back wheels, plus your passengers won't enjoy watching you wrestling against massive oversteer. The traction control will part of to tame the trunk wheels at the beginning corner exits, but happily there's a half-off sport setting which lends the Rapide a tad more adjustability, should you prefer more of an say inside the way the vehicle reacts when you will get back for the power. A Linth Mini Rapide can be a really fabulously satisfying thing either to waft around in or drive quickly in your favorite road. You'll soon forget that extra metal work looming behind you. Fabulous driving position and dials. Some cheaper feeling switches and stalks. Center console dials and fonts don't match. Newer Aston Martins such since the DB11 make use of Mercedes-Benz tech. As you move, the Rapide follows a design and specification largely unchanged through the older DB9. It's not really that it has a particularly bad interior, it's just some from the switchgear doesn't quite live up on the mechanical precision found elsewhere, namely underneath the bonnet. There's a cheap filling clickety-clack to plastic stalks for that indicators and wipers, and also the column-mounted gearshift paddles, although metal and well-sized, have a very long throw and clunky noise. The buttons and dials for the center stack do their job while you'd expect, so it's very easy to ignore the fact they're a bit of any mishmash of shapes and fonts. A group of extremely precise-looking dials would be the exception. They appear fantastic, although slightly unconventional. The rev counter and speedo needles sweep in opposite directions along with the speedo goes approximately 220 miles per hour, and that means you'll rarely use greater than a third from it. Luckily there's a bold digital speedo for additional exact watchings. Also good will be the spit-on driving position, hunkered down and hammered, with all the steeply raked windscreen offering a purposeful letterbox view in the world outside. Taller drivers will find the tire obscuring the actual top from the dials, however. The sat-nav is very easy to program while using big center dial about the dashboard, plus the air conditioning may be set up for your whole car through the front seats. Suspension offers an abundance of cushioning. Supportive seats, but they're thinly padded. Engine is hushed and soon you call upon its upper reaches. Given its more practical, country-crossing potential, you won't be very impressed to hear which the Aston Martin Rapide offers decent ride comfort by reviewing the steel-sprung suspension. Adaptive dampers give you the selection of normal, sport and track settings, getting progressively firmer since you scroll from the modes. In truth, the Porsche Panamera's optional air suspension provides it with a softer ride, though the Aston Martin's taut, purposefully firm setup keeps you dialed on the changing road surface. The Grippy bucket seats aren't particularly squashy but offer great support, which means you emerge from a lengthy drive remarkably back pain-free, and those inside the back are kept in place even tighter than front seat passengers. Thanks to double glazing for the windows and extensive noise-baffling material, the cabin is nicely hushed for the move. There's a little bit of wind noise for the motorway and several creaks and rattles internally. Our test car though. The engine is extremely quiet at low revs and incredibly only gets vocal from 3000 revolutions per minute onwards. Otherwise it really whirs away beneath the bonnet with zero vibration transmitted from the controls. Lots of ordinary equipment including sat-nav. Many choices to personalize your car or truck. Special Shadow Edition adds power along with a sports exhaust. There's one standard trim level as well as a whole world of personalization from which to choose here, with a lot of kit included. Standard Aston Martin Rapide Coupe equipment. Externally the Rapide S boasts 20-inch alloys and LED side lights and taillamps, as the headlights are Bixenon without any LED upgrade available. Inside there may be a useful luxury upholstery including leather everywhere, a walnut facet trim, and graphite center console finish. There's an auto-dimming rear-view mirror, power folding door mirrors, front and back parking sensors, automatic front and back climate and cruise control. The front seats are electrically operated and have 3 memory positions, and all of 4 chairs are heated too. A hard disk-based sat-nav is displayed on the fold-out 6.5-inch screen, similar to DAB radio and does Bluetooth audio compatibility. Optional Aston Martin Rapide Coupe Extras. This is when things get really interesting, that has a huge volume of optional equipment for making your Rapide really be noticeable. Outside you find alternative 20-inch wheels to shroud either gray, black, red, silver or yellow brake calipers, a carbon fiber exterior pack taking inside front splitter, rear diffuser, door mirror caps and rear tail light infills, separate carbon fiber door handles and black textured tailpipe finishers. Inside it is possible to pick between many fascia trims including yet not limited to piano black, mahogany and carbon fiber, plus perforated leather door inserts, embroidered headrests, ventilated front and back seats, carbon fiber gearshift paddles, and twin-screen rear seat entertainment system with DVD player. There's additionally a fantastically expensive but wonderfully clear Bang & Olufsen stereo, with 1000 watts of power and a couple speakers that arise out with the dashboard dramatically once you start your vehicle. Aston Martin Rapide S Shadow Edition. Finally, there's its own edition with the Rapide S referred to as the Shadow Edition, which adds a little bit more power and also comes in ultramarine black, Solent silver, or scintilla silver having a dark night, Sahara tan, or obsidian black interior. Complementing a lot more purposeful-looking exterior, you also get yourself a meaner-sounding sports exhaust to announce your presence. Aston Martin Rapide S not crash-tested by Euro NCAP. 2 ISOFIX mounts in a corner hidden by the removable seat section. All the fundamental safety kit but no autonomous tech or LED headlights. Like most high-end cars, the Aston Martin Rapide hasn't been tested by Euro NCAP, so it's challenging to say how it'd fare inside a crash. Nonetheless, it does consist of all the fundamental standard safety kit including 2 ISOFIX mounts in the spine. These are accessed by pulling a tiny section on the seat away, which is often a bit alarming to start with but means you won't damage the upholstery by ramming the legs of one's child's seat in the seat back. Basic safety kit includes traction control and front and side airbags for front seat passengers, including a slew of stability systems created to keep you pointing inside right direction. Notable in their absence though is autonomous tech like emergency city braking, adaptive cruise control, and lane keep assistance, as well as brighter LED headlamps. Decent headroom at all times. Front passengers have an overabundance legroom than rear. Doors open out and as much as aid entering and out they appear very dramatic. Boot space isn't world-beating but you'll manage to pack a good volume of luggage in. Headroom within reason good around but more restricted in the trunk. This is largely into a hunker-down seating position front and rear, as well as a stepped roof line in a corner which releases space. The back seats are reasonably capacious when you finally squeeze in over the small door opening, and passengers aft are separated using a lofty transmission tunnel. Space is plentiful at the start although you'll feel cocooned in because of the tall center console. There isn't a huge volume of storage space, with just one small and ineffective cup holder and cubby inside the center console beforehand, and a couple of cup holders including a larger storage box within the back. The door bins are long but also somewhat narrow and shallow, so anything larger than a compact bottle of water will be better from the boot or rear footwell. Rear seat passengers get their own aircon controls, which might be overridden using leading switches about the center console. Visibility out in the Rapide is hampered from the sleek design, which features reduced height side windows and also a steeply raked windscreen. Rearward vision are at least boosted by way of a reversing camera, nonetheless it's far on the highest definition unit we've seen. That elegant and sleek design does an excellent job of minimizing the dimensions from the Rapide, but this is really a long car measuring over 5 meters from bumper to bumper. Still, it's not overly wide so within the road it feels relatively petite. You'll only notice its size whenever you come to reverse park it in a very supermarket parking bay. Slinky 4-seater coupes with the additional row of chairs don't usually offer huge amounts of luggage space, however the Rapide will not be too bad, its 317 liters puts it on par using a Supermini. There's enough room back there for 3 or 4 overnight bags, though the floor itself is stepped in lieu of flat. Therefore you must think carefully about how you will pack it. Aston Martin will sell you a group of bags that suit precisely, making the most from the available room. Thankfully the hatchback tailgate opens fully, so getting things in and out is simple enough, while it has to be lifted manually as there's no powered option. You also can pay extra for folding rear seat backs, which free up somewhat more room for a longer time items whenever you only need to transport one passenger.